Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our French Guineas preview. We'll be starting with the 2000s, taking place slightly before the 1000 Sunday afternoon. And first instinct on the race is that it actually looks quite a weak renewal. Henri Matisse was obviously maybe third or fourth string for Aidan O'Brien, and he's coming in as favourite in the market. Juddmonte also have potentially their second or third string. And Godolphin, I don't know, presumably Amory City could be about their fifth or sixth. So fairly weak renewal, but hopefully some interesting opportunities in the betting market. We'll get straight started in with Henri Matisse. The first thing to discuss with him is probably that he'll get his ground. It's expected to be good to firm on Sunday, isn't it, Daniel?
Yes, the official description, I just looked at Paris Tour for their cards, which are sort of issued 36 hours in advance, and they use the term bon souple, which sort of translates as to good to soft, but French going descriptions are very, very different from ours. This will be riding fast. They've, like elsewhere in Britain, they've been having fantastic weather. Hasn't been rain since sort of hail about a week, 8 days ago. It will be riding fast. Yeah, Matisse will get his ground.
Okay. So I think, we both quite liked, we should probably call him Henri Matisse, given the location of it. We both quite liked him for Newmarket and were disappointed that he didn't turn up there. He was 16s at the time. That was quite attractive. At fours, though, given his quirks, given it's a large field and he needs to come from off the pace, he'll have to get quite a bit of luck in running. Is fours attractive? I think he's going to end up drifting to a bigger price. And I think we'll get onto it, but I think Jonquil will probably get a bit shorter. But I'd be quite attracted to him if he drifts out to fives, 11-2, 6-1. Aidan O'Brien, obviously, in red hot form. Ryan Moore, unstoppable. Do you like Henri Matisse, and do you agree that he'll become a bigger price?
Yeah, taking price away, I really like him. Like you, we were kind of all over him as an idea for the 2000. Were he to go there, he had run well, just got up from an unpromising position to win well on his return over a shorter. He'll be match fit. His CV's done very little wrong, apart from get stuck in the mud in the big race on Arc Day for the Guineas that stablemate Camille Pazaro won. He was 13-10, or kind of just a shade under 6-4, 11-8 favourite for that race. He's a really good colt and the rightful favourite. He's drawn very well. I do like him, like you, in an 18-horse field. 4-1 feels a little bit skinny. That said, looking at the Paris Tour sort of morning line predictions, they comfortably think this horse will start favourite. And sometimes there can be a bit of nationalism with their own horses. We'll come to the fillies in a minute, where they're more keen on their own. But I can't quite call what a drift. But like you, I would like to see him drift a bit. But he's got to run. Obvious choice of Ryan Moore. He's got to run well.
Yeah. Then conversely, as I said, a horse I think will get shorter is Jonquil. There's a lot of excitement around the Juddmonte 3-year-olds at the minute. His form of the Greenham is working out fairly well. Yamo be there. Forgive me if I've pronounced that incorrectly. He ran well without running excellently in the Guineas. El Diablo Rojo, he ran well at Ascot in the Commonwealth Cup trial, coming second. I think he's going to go shorter here, and I'm kind of interested in him at sevens. So first, where do you see him in the Juddmonte hierarchy, and then where do you see him in the hierarchy of this race?
He's very interesting. I mean, in the hierarchy, I mean, quite clearly not number one.
No.
Of it.
Yeah.
Schumacher
not on board, is he?
Yeah, there's the exciting Cosmic. I can't remember the name that comes on the Cosmic. Thank you. Yes. So yes, really, really interesting and dangerous. I did just a couple of things niggling at me with this one. Firstly, let's be clear. This is a draw bias race. It's a big field, and he's drawn double figures. We'll come to who else has drawn a lot worse than him. He's 12 of 18. That's not great. His second run last year, having looked very good on debut, was very disappointing. Is he possibly best first time out? But otherwise, there's a lot to like. I mean, you mentioned the Greenham win. He beat Rashabar, who was absolutely top class as a 2-year-old, one of the best in Europe. Yamo Be There, he beat him only a length and a half less than Yamo Be There was beaten by Ruling Court in the Guineas. Dangerous for sure, but he's got to work out some sort of trip. So, yeah, I'd like to see which way his price goes, but I don't think I'll play him in stall 12 unless he lengthens. Okay,
interesting. Going tete-a-tete here with our opinions on Jonquil. Moving on to Hot as Hell. He was probably Jessica Harrington describes him as the second choice, or you can infer that from the fact that he's gone to the French Guineas and Green Impact went to the Newmarket Guineas. Green Impact, I think, probably had the potential to have the run of the race in the Newmarket Guineas, and he faded or just didn't. He got fairly outpaced and was a little bit disappointing for each way backers such as ourselves. Does the gloss coming off his performance reflect poorly on Hot as Hell?
I mean, it's interesting because at one stage, I think the idea was to go the other way around with these two. I think they flipped at some stage. Hot as Hell was talked about for Newmarket, and I was surprised where they changed. And I don't know whether because he's got that soft ground fit G1 Futurity win in Doncaster at the back end of last season, hasn't he? Maybe they thought he'd get softer ground here, but it doesn't seem he needs that. His last 5 wins, he's been by Henri Matisse. That's his only blemish, as it like. He's drawn wonderfully. He's right on the inside with the Ballydoyle pacemaker Serengeti on the inside rail, and Misunderstood he'll go forward for Shakab Racing in 3. So those two will give him a right toe. He really would be in the box seat if he can get a decent run. I do quite like him, but I wonder about whether they wanted this rattling fast ground for him. But dangerous, yeah, dangerous.
Okay, was interested by 8's 5 places. Sort of, I don't know. Yeah, Hot as Hell. I'm awful joke, but I'm not too hot on him.
It's worth pointing out, Joe, just briefly, while you mentioned the places for anyone backing each way on this race, Paddy Power and Sky are the ones doing 5 places, and some of their prices are just as large with 5 places as other people with 4. So check out those markets if you're thinking of going each way, because that does make a difference.
Yeah. Good old Flutter had some fairly exceptional earning reports this week, was it? So they're feeling generous with the additional place. Right. On to the French horses. We've got Ridaro and Salin. The two of them clashed heads earlier this season. Ridaro coming out on top. Potentially was slightly value for more given the run of the race. And there's only 1 point between them in the prices, maybe 2 points at the minute. Is Ridaro, is he the pick of the French bunch?
Yes, I definitely think so. And you're right to point out that if you run that race, rewatch that race. I mean, Ridaro does a lot wrong. He doesn't settle. Now, that can be considered a negative, of course, going forward in this race. But he didn't really have a right to finish off as well as he did, giving the energy he wasted in the first couple of furlongs and was awkwardly away. Given how he ran in that race and was still comfortably on top by the line, I'd be pretty keen on him being the one to take out of that race going forward into this one, and not least because he's drawn better. Sarlan is right out in 13. This is getting into really bad draw territory. Ridari got a peach in 5. So lightly raced. I mean, we've got to say on the form book and what they've achieved, the French colts they've achieved nothing like the English and Irish equivalents, but they're completely unexposed, much more lightly raced. So the punter is kind of guessing as to what the form stacks up to and how much potential they have. But given France has a very good record of keeping this race at home, I think Ridari's much too big at 9-1. 5 places with a good draw. There's lots of talent there. I do quite like Ridari of the two. Just a word on the third home who led that. The third in that Prix de Fontainebleau, I think it was, Misunderstood. He's the one with trap 3 next to Hotezel. He was 9-10 for the Fontainebleau. Good winner multiple times last season, then only third in the Jean-Luc Lagardère on Arc Day. If he comes on for that run, you could kind of see him leading these a long way, as long as, Serengeti doesn't cut his throat. Not the wildest and maddest thing at 20-1. Misunderstood. Well drawn. Should avoid trouble going forward. So in short, Sarlan incredibly lightly raced. Only 2 runs. 1 run easy win last season, and that second first time out. Could progress again, but he's got it to do from the draw.
Yeah. Okay. Traveling back across the English Channel now onto Camille. I'll go over Amory City then to make that comment accurate. Amory City, for me, very exposed. I see 3 to 4 lengths back from Field of Gold in the Craven. His form as a juvenile was probably Group 2 level at best. Ran admirably in Group 1s, but I can't see him winning this at all. Can you?
Why not for the fact that the Godolphin won every big race on turf on the planet last weekend? Yeah. You'd be tempted possibly to dismiss this one, but it is slightly worrying taking on Appleby and Buick in a Group 1, isn't it? It really fills you with dread. In terms of the form Group 2, I know what you mean. His form doesn't look as good as the others, but it's not so much sort of a cut below as in and out. He won a sort of nothing vintage stakes at Goodwood, but won that well in glorious Goodwood. But then disappointed behind Score the Champ, where Henri Matisse was veering all over the track at the Caron Champions weekend. But then let's not forget he had a flying finish, beaten only 3/4 of a length by Henri Matisse in the Breeders' Cup juvenile turf. Yeah. So again, will be round bend, 10 furlong, a mile. Gets his ground. What sort of really disappoints us is that his first time out, if that's as good as he is, 4 lengths behind Field of Gold, best part of 4 lengths, when we know Appleby's horses run so well first time out, unless that was a prep run, we don't know that. Difficult to see how he's going to progress from that, but it's just a case of, can you possibly dismiss something from this stable? I will let him go personally, but we may get that nagging sense of dread as they come into the straight.
Yeah, I would be very surprised to see him coming home in front. Just don't think he's got the class. A horse that has beaten Camille Pazaro in the past, has been in Amory City, is Camille Pazaro. I quite liked him coming into the race, but he has got a bit of a bum draw. Is his draw enough to take away any interest for you?
It's not a bum draw, James. It's a horror draw. It's an absolute horror. He's out in 15, isn't he? And late in horse row. This is a really so. I noticed when they did the draw, we didn't have the jockey decisions then for a while. I wonder if, and I don't know how it works. I wonder if Aidan O'Brien had a few hours or the rest of the day to give officially what the jockey bookings were, and I wonder if this played a part in Ryan Moore's decision. But I don't know how he's going to get a good run from there. The other thing that niggles, but this is a mystery, is Camille Pazaro's 2 best runs on the figures are his last 2 runs. They're both on soft ground. He was really good, having disappointed last season. He was really good in the Jean-Luc Lagardère on Arc Day, sort of sauntered through to win at that end, and was really good value for that victory. That was on soft. His reappearance, which is good form, older horse, Big Gossy, just beat him. In third was Officer, who's come out and won since and is now quite short for the Irish 2000. It's good form, but now he's back on faster ground. And the only time he's faced rattling fast ground was last year's Coventry Stakes, where he was 11th of 22 as favourite, nota bene. So that worries me. But that said, Aidan O'Brien said in his stable tour, we think this horse wants decent ground. So I have no idea what to make of that at all. And I won't touch him. I won't touch him on this ground with that draw, despite that O'Brien comment.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. It's difficult to figure this horse out, to be honest with you. Had a lot of hype last year, ran a bit in and out, disappointed in York. And then, ran surprisingly well in Longchamp. Horse I'd like to have on side ultimately, but disappointed by the draw. The next of the UK and Irish challengers comes from the Gosden Yard, the unlucky losers of the Newmarket edition. Juddmont's horse, trained by the Gosdens, it is detained. So he's coming in off the win at Chelmsford. The form of that, I think, looks pretty mediocre. Do you give him a chance?
Yes, we don't quite know. We'll come to Luther in a minute, who he beat by a length in that Chelmsford race. It would be very surprising if what he's done on the track were good enough. It's 3 wins out of 3 on the all-weather, including, this one on his reappearance. And it's a sort of 6th of 8 beaten a fairway, beaten 8 lengths in the Hottersell Doncaster Futurity Trophy. Now, that was on soft ground. Maybe on better ground, he'll be better. But, I mean, we were talking about pecking orders early on, and you would have to think that Detain, most people would consider this the 4th best Juddmont 3-year-old for the Classic campaign. Maybe underestimate Gosden here at your peril, but he's drawn okay. He's sort of 9 of 18. That's okay. An interesting runner without getting me excited at the sort of 12 to 1 or whatever it is at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. So next in the market is Misunderstood, who we've covered, and then we get into 25s plus. So are any of these outsiders of particular interest to you?
I mentioned the 3 that would have been without the draws. So Luther, just behind Detain on his seasonal debut. Of course, we'll come to that in a minute, but Charlie Fellows, of course, produced a filly to almost shock the favourite for the fillies race, Sarah Garner, first time out. Probably knows what he's got. He's quite an interesting runner. 16 of 18, no, just no. And the other two French two I quite liked, completely unexposed, could be anything. I just thought they were bound to be overpriced and overlooked in the market. But Selenian and Dos Mukasan, but they've both got very bad draws. Selenian, perhaps not quite so bad, 14 out of 18 as opposed to 18 of 18. But Selenian, he's as short as 12 to 1 in places. And then the sort of high 20s or 30s, I was starting, I actually did have a bet on him before the draw came out, and I'm mildly disappointed, to say the least. No, nothing on the form book is good enough, but unexposed. Reino was never going to attract money. I just think he'd go under the radar, but probably got it all to do.
Okay, cool. So if none of the outsiders then excite you particularly, do you have an overall selection for the race?
Five. Since they've done 5 places, whoever, as we mentioned, did. I have taken the 9 to 1 each way on Ridaro. He looks like the best French colt. We don't know how good he is. He's got an excellent draw. But I think that's a very decent each way bet for 5 places.
Okay, cool. Right. No real opinion from me. As I said, maybe I can see Jonquil getting shorter, but I'm not feeling overwhelmingly interested in playing him. Like the 2 French painters that Quill have entered, but will probably just be more of a watching exercise. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. We will move on to the 1,000 guineas, but I think we'll take a break in between. Please, like, comment. Really keen to hear your opinions. Like to hear what bets you have on, and give us a share wherever you're watching us. So thank you very much, and we'll speak to you soon from a fillies perspective. Bye.